What's going on, guys? Welcome to Joy's channel. So today I wanted to do a fun tier list. It's my first tier list ever. I'm very excited about it. I decided to do it on team tournament. Like I said before, I'm playing a lot of team tournaments, so I'm experienced in doing the matchups and knowing how many points I'm going to bring to the table for my teams. So today, pretty easy. I started with 5 categories with points, WTC points, basically. So, and we have the green category that will be dream matchup that you'll most likely bring between 15 to 20 points. The other one will be happy to play, 12 to 15 points. Skill matchup, so that means it's most likely a tie, but if you're better than your opponent, you can do better. Rough game, so 5 to 8 points, and then good luck, 0 to 7 points. To be honest, I'm going with like if you're the same skill, so you always have to go with same skill opponent, because we know that in teams sometimes you gotta have a lot of gap, or even like in normal tournaments there's a lot of gap of skill. So I'm gonna go based on same skill, how the output of the game should go. So let's start off with the first image I have in there. That's Adeptus Sororitas, so sisters. For me, this matchup, I've played it a couple times in teams, and I have to say that I'm happy to play that matchup. So I'll put it in happy to play. Reason why, there's lots of bodies, with one wound there. Easy to kill for Noise Marines. If you play Coterie, super easy also with Prince when you charge to have a bunch of mortal wounds. I know there's some fight on that there right now with the popular list, but I think we're favorable in that matchup. So for that reason, I'll put it in happy to play. So when I see a sister there, I have no problem playing that matchup. We have to say, though, I have to define that Emperor's Children most of the time in a team setup will be attackers, so you don't see a lot of sisters against us. The next one is Adeptus Custodes. So for Custodes, right now with the meta, with triple land raiders, I would have to put them in skill matchups. It's most likely going to be a tie, but again, it's a skill matchup, so we don't know. Like the outcome depending on your opponent. But for me, it will most likely be a tie with triple land raiders and a bunch of guard there. It's going to be hard to build a differential of 5 points or more there, because they also have a bunch of guards with a lot of OC, so it's hard to get the primary game on our side. So that's for the Custodes. Let's go for the Adeptus Mechanicus. So for that one, I've played a lot of it, especially before. If we go back a couple months prior, when they were super popular, when Siegler won with his Mechanicus. To be honest, I've always feel comfortable in that matchup, so I'm really happy to play this matchup. I will put it in happy to play. Lots of, again, it looks like a little bit the sisters matchup. Lots of bodies with one wound. Yes, they can have, like in cohort, they'll have -1 to hit, but I'm still very confident in that matchup. Our Winged Demon Prince are doing a lot of work in there. Fulgrim is doing work in there as well with his speed. Everything in their army can kill their one wound bodies. If they play the big robots there, we can still kill them. The chicken, same thing. So I don't see a lot of problem against Adeptus Mechanicus. Eldari, right now they've got nerf a lot, but even before the nerf, when they were really big in the meta with Fuegan moving back in the transport, it was always a good matchup for Emperor's Children. Again, same thing, I'll put them in happy to play. Reason why, we have a lot of speed, and then we have a little bit more armor than them, and then when we hit hard, we can kill their one wound bodies. Uh, their shenanigans of moving super quick will hurt us, but most of the time we can stay in our transport as well. And then when we set up our go turn, we can do a lot of damage to Eldari. So it's a matchup I'm really happy to play, but to be honest, right now we don't see, unfortunately, a lot of in the team environment meta. I'm sure they'll come back. They always come back, but if we look at the past 2 months, I would say it's very rare that we see Eldari right now. So far we have 3 happy to play. Don't worry, it's not gonna all be happy to play. I'm very, but again, like Emperor's Children is supposed to be there as being attackers, so you're supposed to bring some points to your team. So you want to be able to bring points, and then to bring points, you need to have happy to play 12 to 15. Dream matchups, that's not where we're at, basically. It's very rare that in my team I'll score 20 to 15 points. Most of the time I'll be consistent between 10 to 15, depending on how the game is going. So this is where I think all of the bulk of the army will be. But let's move on to the next one. That's going to be our first dream matchup, to be honest. We're not going to have a lot, but Imperial Agent is one of them. I've played it once in team, and then to be honest, like I know right now we just saw Folger doing great at Adepticon with them, but Folger is another level of players. We've got like 2 or 3 guys here that try to get the dream, the Imperial Agent working, the dream of winning with them, and so far it didn't work out for them. They did great, but for us it's a good matchup, like a bunch of single wound models that don't hit hard. Like they have a lot of OC, but for us it's not a problem. Then we'll move to the extreme, or good luck matchup. For me, this is one of them. Like if you have a very good, I might be biased because we have like one of the best in the world in my meta. Like in Montreal, we have the player called John Winter. He made it to top 4 at the world, I think last year or the year before. So for me, it's a good luck there with Astra Militarum. To be honest, it's a really bad matchup for us. Yes, most of the time I'll take it because like when Grizzle was there, I know how to play it with my list. But if somebody's same skill, same experience, like if John's playing me, he will crush me. To be honest, John is better than me first, but also it's on paper same skill. Astra Militarum is a really hard one for us. Like the Bulgren is hard to deal with, even for coterie or for court. The Rogeldorn is a problem for us. So this is something we have to look at in the red matchup. Astra Militarum, try to dodge this one for sure. It's not a good one for us. Chaos Demon. Chaos Demon, if we go with typical list of Monster Mash, I would say it's a rough game for us. If they go with the typical, I can deep strike 6 inches. I have Scarbrand. I have like a Great Unclean One. It's a rough game for us. And then we also have the other Shadow Legion here and there. Sometimes that will be there with the -1 to hit on Zinch. Scintillating Legion is not that bad. I would have moved it to skill matchup, but it's still a skill matchup with court. Especially, I've done it on the last team tournament I went with Scintillating. I was in control of the game until Fulgrim just die, even if he was -1 to wood, -1 to hit with 1 bird. So I ended up tying this game. But it's a very skill matchup, Scintillating Legion. And then if you see the Monster Mash, it's way rougher for us. So I would put it in a rough game in a team environment. But fortunately for us, right now most Demons players are on Scintillating Legion. And this is more a skill matchup for us. But I've seen I have to add though that I've seen online right now that more and more Demons players are switching back to their index. I can't remember the name of the one where you can deep strike within 6. And that one is getting more and more popular, especially because one of the Art of War players is playing that one right now. So there's a list floating around that people are trying. So that's why I'm putting it in rough game. The next one is Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight is also a rough one for us. I've already talked about it in one of my battle report. I feel like Chaos Knight is really rough. It's a rough game. We can get points from there if we play it smart, but having the triple despoiler with a lot of shot, strength 6, -2 damage, lethal, will deal with most of our profile effectively. And then for us, it's hard to kill the big one, especially if he spikes on his 5-up, because they on Infernal Lens they'll have 5-up in melee most of the time. If we leave them on 2 wounds, then we're in big trouble there. So we have to make sure that when we commit, we kill that big knight. And if we don't, we're in trouble. So if we play against a good same skill Chaos Knight, it's a really rough game for us. But we can still bring points to the table. So if you have to take it, then try to do your best to bring between 8 to 10 points, but it's going to be a hard one. Chaos Space Marine, I would say for me it's a skill matchup. I've played it a couple times again in team environment. There's a lot of good Chaos Space Marine in my meta players. It's most of the time right now you'll see Abaddon Castle, or you'll see now that Yuan is out, you'll see some list with him, and then you'll also see the Renegade Raiders. Renegade Raiders is really skill matchup. The Abaddon Castle can be devastating for us too, depending on how the Obliterators will do damage or not. You never know with them. They are unreliable, but when they spike, oh my god, you're in trouble. This is a skill matchup, but we can bring most likely a 10 points to 12 or maybe 8. It really depends. But most likely will be a 10. Next one is Death Guard. Death Guard, personally, I think it's happy to play. I don't have any problem playing Death Guard. Yes, I know I just posted one where I technically tied on it. If you look at the score, I lost by 4 points. But most of the time, I'll be happy to play that matchup. The reason why is we have the speed. We have the OC like to contest them. We can readjust where we need to. So when they're deep striking their Terminators, after that we can just readjust where we need to go, and then we should win that game basically. So that's why I have no problem, and I'm happy to play this matchup. Next one is Drukhari. Drukhari right now they're a lot on Spectacle of Spite. To be honest, Spectacle of Spite, I've done it once, and then it's a very good matchup for us. I'm debating between putting it Dream matchup or Happy to Play. It's very close to Dream matchup for us, but just because they can also play other detachment that are a little bit more tricky, with a little bit more shooting, I will put it in Happy to Play. But if it's Spectacle of Spite, it's a really good matchup for us. Like, especially if you play, in this case, Coterie, it's way better. Because all the Winged Demon Prince, even if they charge you, you just like put a unit in front of their witch, and you're like, okay, do you want to charge me? And then if he charge you, you counter charge after, because it's your turn. You just charge them with the Winged Demon Prince, and then half his army is already dead there. And then the Winged Demon Prince will just finish him off, finish the witch off with like the sweep attack, or even if you leave like the character alive, like Lilith or stuff like that, all the witch are dead anyways, and then your other unit already charged. So it's a really good matchup for Coterie. For Court, a little bit more tricky, but still like all our Noise Marines will do work in there. And then we still have Fulgrim with Fight First, so even if he charge you, you're like, okay, well, I have Fight First, so doesn't matter. Like they'll do some work to Fulgrim, but whatever. It's not. They're not gonna most likely kill him. And again, you also have a one Winged Demon Prince in the list most of the time if you play Fraser's list. So for me, it's happy to play right now. Almost dream matchup. So if you can get that one, get it. Then the next one will be Emperor's Children. So again, this I have to put it in skill matchup. It's the mirror. So whoever is the person that's the skilled will win. on paper. You also have like the awkward where you play court versus coterie. So I've done it in the last matchup, last team tournament. I was court, he was coterie. To be honest, on paper, I think it's a really skill matchup. Like it depends on this one. I pulled a 20-0, but to be honest, it's because I have more experience in the game against my opponent. But like on paper, if I was playing against myself or an EC player that's the same level, I think it's a really skill matchup. Like it depends really on what's gonna happen, the secondaries, the mission. So it's really a skill matchup basically. Next one is Genestealer Cult. Genestealer Cult, very happy to play this one. So happy to play. To be honest, Genestealer Cult, again, like the other ones that we're happy to play right there so far, the Sisters, Admech and all that, it's all a bunch of one wound bodies there. So it's not a big problem for us unless you play against me, then just try your 9-inch charge. You just deep strike a 9-inch charge and then you'll get it. And that's how I lose that game. That's a reference to one of my friends that beat me recently with that. He was like, well, I don't know what to do, so I'll just deep strike my whole army within 9 and then charge you, and then he just land all his charge. I was like, okay, cool. Then I lost that game, but other than that, most of the time you should win that game. You should bring between 12 to 15 to your team against Genestealer Cult. Next one is a Grey Knight. Grey Knight, I'll put it in dream matchup for us, to be honest. Right now, they're in a bad situation against us. They have a lot of armor, yes, but they're, especially if you play coterie, like if they you charge them and kill half their unit right away, it's a problem for them. They don't have like a lot of speed. Yes, they can bounce around, but we can stay in our transport if we need to. Fulgrim is also hard for them to kill. Their Terminators are like just, I don't know, like it's a weird, I don't know what Grey Knight is doing, to be honest. Right now, every time I play them, I just kill them basically, and they don't do much. Like their firepower is not that great. Their melee is okay. Yes, they have a lot of move, but that's about what they have. Like they can just bounce around, but it's not like the Death Watch matchup that you'll see later that I'll put like it's a little bit more troublesome for us because their firepower is way stronger. So for me, Grey Knight is a dream matchup right now. Imperial Knight, I'll say it's a skill matchup, not a rough game compared to Chaos Knight. Reason why their shooting is a little bit less rough for us. And then when we hit them, they don't have as much protection in melee than Chaos Knight. So that's the only reason why I'll put them in skill matchup. It's still like close to a rough game, but I think we can pull, most of the time when I play against Imperial Knight, I can pull the tie. But it's same skill, Imperial Knight, it will be really hard for you to go get points for your team there. So that's something you have to take into consideration. It's not an easy matchup. So it's a skill matchup, but it will be very hard for you to go get some points there. Next one is League of Votan. League of Votan for me will be a skill matchup as well. League of Votan, they have a lot of OC. They can hit hard. Their shooting is good. And then they can also have if they have Land Fortress there, it's a problem for us. It's hard for us to deal with the Land Fortress for now. Unfortunately, in the near future, that will change because we'll have the Defiler coming. But for now, I have to go with skill matchup. It's they don't hit super hard in melee, but the Berserk unit will do the work. And then the Land Fortress are flat 4 damage, good shooting, so they can deal with our Demon Prince, they can deal with their Mauler Fiend, they can deal with Fulgrim. So this is something that could be problematic for us. So that's why it's a skill matchup. It really depends on how the scenario will go and then the skill of your opponent, basically. But you'll most likely bring a tie if you get into that matchup. The next one is the famous Necrons. I know that will probably be controversial. Most people will put him in 0 to 7. I think we can get 5 to 8 in that matchup, to be honest. Right now, it's a rough game. I think we can get 5 to 8. The only reason why is I don't see a lot of lists going like a lot of Catan right now. It's most likely going to 2, maybe 3 Catan. It's still problematic for us. It's still really hard, especially with like everything that's backing them up. But I think we can bring 5 to 8 points into that matchup. I've done it like in practice game. I haven't done it in a team tournament format right now, just because like most of the times you don't want to go in rough game anyway, so we try not to get this one. And then my team captain is good at pairing, so I didn't get into it. But I think I could at least bring, when I do my matrix, I'm confident I can bring 5 to 8 points into that one. But it's a really hard one, and I wouldn't suggest this to a new EC player. That will be more good luck for you. But same skill level, I think you could go for a rough game for that one. Orcs is that's another one. Like most people will think it's a dream matchup, but to be honest, we have great Orcs players in my meta, and for me, I see it more as a happy to play. It could be tricky sometimes. They have a lot of fight on that. They have a lot of like hard-hitting characters that if you leave them alive, they will clean up your units. And then if you go with the skew, there's some Orcs players that we have here that go with skew of like a bunch of hard the squigogs. And then they do really well with Orcs. So for me, it's happy to play, but I don't think it's a dream matchup at all. And then sometimes it can even go to skill matchup. Like you could end up tying, and if things already go south for you, you can even lose that game. So it's a really volatile matchup. But most of the time you'll be happy to play this one. So don't try to dodge it. But it's volatile, to be honest. If the Orcs go wild and then on his wild turn just like spike all the saves and all that, you might be in trouble. So that's something to take into consideration when you do your pairing. It could go something you did not expect against Orc. Tau matchup, right now I know they have the new lance, the new twin lance. I haven't tried against the twin lance. They look super good. But for me right now, it's still happy to play. Like we have the movement, we can push them, we can rush them. The trick against Tau is that you have to kill everything that can score for them, basically. And then if they're stuck in their back with like their tanks shooting you, and then their Riptide, as long as you're still continuing to score your primary, then you'll win that game. And then try to make sure when you charge stuff that you can go back into a position where it's going to be hard for them to shoot you off the board and then still score your points. That's another trick. And then don't go like one unit at a time. You have to push everything to make sure the Tau player has to make a lot of decision, and then he's gonna whiff some spot, and then you exploit those spot that he's gonna whiff. Because there's always spot where you think, oh, I'm going to kill this unit, and then you end up not rolling what you think. So when you have a lot of target, then you have less backup plan than if you just have one unit there that just kills something, and then he's like, okay, well, whatever, I just whiffed there, I'm going to use my Riptide to finish him off. But if he needs to use his Riptide for another unit because you pushed everything, then he's in trouble, basically. Next one will be Thousand Sun. Again, for me, I think Thousand Sun is a skill matchup. It's really, they can do a lot of damage. If you get a good Thousand Sun players, a lot of damage, a lot of movement trick, they can table you basically if you don't play that matchup properly. So especially in the one with a lot of Terminators there, the Terminators are really good at shooting and killing their targets. It's 10 bodies with the character. It's hard to kill. -1 to wound in there. So it's something you have to play carefully. You cannot just push and then hope for the best. It's really a tricky matchup, a skill matchup, and then it's not easy, but it's something that you have to take into consideration in your pairing again. NIDS matchup, if we go with the NIDS right now that we see a lot that I see coming back is the back to the basic with a lot of monsters and invasion fleet. So for me, this one will be a little bit controversial. I know on the internet people say it's easy, but to be honest, I think it's a rough game. If we play against a good invasion fleet players, when I started 10th edition, I was on NIDS, and then a good invasion fleet players can play that game, and then it's going to be a rough game for you, especially if there's Norn in there. There's like a Maleceptor for the -1 to hit. They have a lot of damage 3. They have access to lethal. So if you play against a good invasion fleet player, he's not going to go for the sustain. He doesn't need sustain. What he needs is the lethal. So he can deal with your Mauler Fiend, your Demon Prince more easily. And then he will also deal with Fulgrim. So a good invasion fleet player will take lethal, and then will still kill your infantry pretty easily, because everything like from the strength 9 -2/3 damage will kill our infantry, or the Maleceptor, same thing, strength 10 -2/3 damage. -1 to hit on the Maleceptor is annoying, and then if he's backed up with Gene Stealer, and then he plays his Gene Stealer right to wait until you commit as a counter punch. It's pretty good on the Tyranid side. So for me, it's a rough game there. World Eaters, it's a skill matchup for me. Right now, they're really on to Berserker Warband. I've starting to see a little bit of the transport one, Gore Track. That could be problematic for us. We don't like to destroy transport before having to hit their units. So, and then this skill matchup also for the fact that they have a lot of fight on that. They have a lot of trick to make sure that when they hit you, you will die for sure. The fight on that's always problematic for us. Like if he spikes on his fight on that, the trade can be negative for us. So for me, it's a skill matchup. To be honest, it's not always easy, especially if they go on a Gore Track's list more and more with that fight first and Gore Track coming out of transport, fight first, +1 to hit, +1 to wound, with lance, if they charge. It can be tricky for us, so for me right now it's a skill matchup. Black Templar, to be honest, like I've never seen them right now. Like I've never played against Black Templar in the old edition. They're not popular at all in my meta. On paper, it looks like it's a fine matchup for us, but don't take this one as a good indication for me. That's one of the very few unit army. I would say it's the only army that I haven't played against. So I would put it in skill matchup. The only reason why I would put it on skill matchup is because I don't know that matchup. So don't consider that one as a good indication. I don't know that matchup, and I'd rather be honest than trying to pretend. So I'll put it in skill matchup. Blood Angel, I've done it a bunch and a bunch and a bunch, and for me, Rage Curse will be a skill matchup. They have a lot of fight on that. They have a lot of that company with fight on that is really hard for us to deal with. They have, if they backed up with a little bit of shooting too, it's a little bit trickier for us. They hit hard, they have a lot of speed like us, so it's a really skill matchup. Like they have a lot of our tools, so it's very similar in army wise. So that's a skill matchup for me. Dark Angel is also a skill matchup, especially with the new alliance. I know it's not that new anymore, but the fight first lion could be a problem for us to deal with. The Terminators with -1 to damage could also be a problem for us, depending on what's going on the table and how we approach them. So for me, that's also a skill matchup, Dark Angel. We don't see a lot right now in the meta, and I'm kind of glad, to be honest, because I don't think it's a great matchup. Like it's skill, but if it could go rough a little bit for us, so I'm happy we don't see a lot of them. Death Watch for us will be a rough game. I'm going to surprise some of you there, but Death Watch for me is a rough game. They have a lot of firepower. Their firepower is great. They can redeploy whenever they want with their uppy downy. They have tough unit when we charge them. The Undominatus kill team, the one with the Meltas, is pretty good. They have their new units that's also really good. Their hammers are damage 3 when they go with veterans. They can, like I said, move up and down when they need to. It's a very tough, rough game for us. I don't like that matchup personally, so that's why I put it in there. We're going to get some points, but against same skill level, I think I'm going to bring only 5 to 8 for that one. Space Wolf, to be honest, Space Wolf for me, it's happy to play. I've done it a bunch of times. They have a bunch of Terminators or Thunderwolf Cav. For me, they don't have like fight first, or they don't have like a lot of fight on that. I don't even think they do, to be honest. I don't remember when I've played the game if they had fight on that. I don't think so. And then yes, they have their -1 to wound here and there, but like when we charge, we have lands with the Lord. The Fulgrim with fight first is a problem for them, so most of the time when I play them, I will bring some points for sure. And then the last one, and not the least, is Ultramarine. That's going to be another controversial for me. Ultramarines, I'm very confident in that matchup. And I will put it with Court. I will put it into happy to play. Because I'm playing a lot of Court, and I think a Court is really good into Ultramarines. We have the AP there to kill the V-Trix. We have the extra AP on the guns too to put a lot of damage into the Ventigator if we need to. Fulgrim is pretty good in that matchup too. And I've played against like amazing Ultramarines players, and I'm still bringing points to the team. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Most of the time it's going to be close to a tie to 12 points, but for a team, and that's really good when you can do that into Ultramarines, because a lot of armies want nothing to do with Ultramarines. And then for us, I think we can play that matchup. So I will take that matchup a lot of time when we do the pairings. And I'm confident into bringing some points to my team into that matchup. So that's it for my first tier list, guys. I know a lot of that will change in the next couple weeks when we finally get that defiler to bring a lot of firepower, so we can deal with knights. We can deal with like tougher target with our last cannon hitting on 2s. A lot of EC players are so excited. I am excited too about that defiler. I can't wait to see the points. So that's it for my first tier list, and then now I'm gonna work on probably deployment for Games Workshop as well, to help you guys with deployment on Games Workshop. And then I'm still waiting to see what the next matchup I'm gonna do for the matchup analysis. So if you guys want one specific, don't forget to comment on my videos there, the Custodes videos, to let me know which one you want for the next one. And then that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching.